Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of What the Haul. In this episode, I'm going to share with you one of the first things that I've purchased this year, and that is this eye cream from Sisley. Without further ado, let's run the intro. So first, how are you? Amazing. I'd love to hear that. I do have my notes as per usual. One video that I put out last year about Adidas Stan Smiths, and no matter what you're wearing, they work with pretty much any look. In that video, I think I made the point that ASICS is a brand that is underappreciated and kind of gets looked over. So as I'm doing my searches on the web, of course the cookies are working overtime. I'm on Condé Nast Traveler and I'm getting this advert almost like a carousel. So I'm swiping through it and I'm remembering, ASICS has lots of really interesting styles. There's a couple of styles that I wanted to call to your attention. The Skyhand OG, that one would be a really nice alternative to an Adidas Samba. They felt like they would be very hard wearing shoes. As per the young people, we're no longer wearing slim, skinny jeans. This type of shoe would really complement that style. And then further to that, I used to be a real big fan of the exaggerated dad shoes. So you remember the Balenciaga Triple S. I was a big fan of what they called Track 2, and that was a really chaotic shoe. They're now going for I think $1,500 Canadian. It's really expensive for what they are. But with that in mind, there's another style of ASICS that's called the 1550. You can find them in the usual places like a JD, but you can also find them in Urban Outfitters, Simons, all sorts of places. So definitely a brand that I really think might be worth keeping your eyes on. There is a video that I put out maybe a year or so ago where I was going over a variety of different eye products that I use. Currently, the one thing that I do keep on standby, a couple boxes of these faded eye patches. I think they're working for me. I like the ingredients in there. But beyond that, I'm of the opinion that eyes are pretty much indicative of your health, your lifestyle. I have really poor sleep hygiene. I typically will use all of my skincare face and eyes. Don't worry about what the boxes or the cartons say sometimes. Those are just suggestions. You do what feels right to you, and what feels right to me is if I have this wonderful serum or this wonderful cream that's working for me, I'm absolutely putting it around my eyes. It's going to give me some benefit somehow, some way. Fortunately for me, I have my bag full of samples. If there's gaps in my routine, I'll just rummage and see what samples I have and test out new things. I tried this one from Chantecaille, which is the stress concentrate, this from Sunday Riley, which was very, very impressive. And I was also considering many things. I was like, ooh, do I buy the Total Lift from Clarins? Do I buy the new Augustinus Bader eye cream? I used to use the Rich Cream and I would do a pump of the Rich Cream around my eyes. Somebody reminded me about La Prairie, and they have this incredible eye set, which is 2 full eye creams. It's one thing if you buy one product that you dislike, but can you imagine forking out that much money and then walking away with 2 products that don't match up with your needs? And I had a number of samples of this Sisleÿa eye cream, and so I finally decided to take the plunge. You can buy it one of 3 ways: either the eye cream on its own, the eye cream with the implement, or this coffret which has 2 samples of Sisleÿa cream and their essence. Now the essence I think came out maybe 4 or 5 years ago. They've always had this set, but they've updated it with the most current essential items as part of this collection. And I bring that up because you can buy it at the same price no matter which version you buy. Last summer I went in for Morpheus on my face and I had PRP done around my eyes. I wish I went in for a couple of more sessions. So it's definitely something that I would do and I would recommend to people if you are worried about the skin around your eyes, more so than buying an eye cream. But because I have these sorts of realistic expectations and I know what my end goal is, when I buy an eye cream, there's 3 things that I'm looking for. So the first thing is I want something that's incredibly dense. The best example of that would be the one from Shiseido. Their eye cream is the richest that I've ever encountered. Second to that, I like eye creams that have a silicone, something that fills in and kind of disguises fine lines. Best example of that one would be the Dermalogica Power Firm. That stuff is phenomenal at filling and smoothing, and surprisingly, it smells very good as well. And then lastly, I like products that have an optical diffusion. I want something that has a little bit of a color to neutralize the shadows immediately. Best example of that would be the Caudalie Premier Cru, or Beauty Stat is an absolute winner. I think that is the best eye cream that I've ever used. This ticks all of those boxes. It's definitely nice and creamy, but not as glossy or as wet as the Shiseido. It has that illuminating element that I was looking for, and yes, I am using it today. You're supposed to massage first. It's cooling, so you feel that sensation around the eyes. In typical French cosmetic fashion, it's an eye and lip contour cream. They always say the skin around the eyes is very similar to the lips. If I was to put it on the lips, I would put it there first and then put lip balm on top of it to kind of seal it in. It is a day and night product. In the last year, they came out with a product called Sisleÿa. If you are not familiar with the Sisley brand, if you are, I guess, over 30, you would use the Sisleÿa. All the Sisleÿa products are day and night, but if you have an extra coin to spare, or if you're looking for more active, more corrective products, that's when you get into the Sisleÿa, which is their night care products. And then they also have Sisleÿa, which is their men's product, and there's a day and a night cream as part of that offering. I really like this tool. I don't know that it's going to make the world of a difference, but I'm sure all of this massaging, doing it regularly, small doses on an ongoing basis, is going to help to make the skin around my eyes a lot better. They have their DTC website. Whenever there's a holiday, not to the same extent as brands like Lancôme or Clinique, where there's constantly a 20 or 30% off. These guys, when it was Black Friday, Boxing Day, they do have sales. It's typically family and friends at 20% off. Most recently, Essence started selling Sisley as well. So for the La Mer people, because I think that's a common question is, do I buy La Mer or do I buy Sisley? La Mer's eye category is one of their worst. The Eye Balm Intense I've used multiple times throughout the years, but it's really not the one, you know, and the implement that they give you is really pathetic. You know, these brands pay pennies on the dollar to add on these little tools with comparable brands like Claytopo, CDP. They have an eye cream now that has a little implement that has almost like facets, like a jewel thing. It's revolving, it's massaging. You know, if I was to buy something at La Mer, the Eye Balm is one of their better products, but in comparison to what's existing on the marketplace, it doesn't hold a candle to what Sisley is offering. If you can't get jiggy with the price point of this eye cream, I did want to flag up Sunday Riley Auto Correct. Much like the Sisley, it was an immediate sort of brightness under the eyes. It's a very fluid, almost like a lotion texture, so it wasn't meeting what I was looking for. I think on Boxing Day, the Auto Correct eye cream was selling for $44. I hope I took a screen grab of it because I was shocked at how reasonable that price point was. If you can't wait for Boxing Day, just keep your eyes out because they do have that skincare event at least twice a year. There isn't really much more that I can add on the topic. In 6 months' time, we'll talk about it again when it's empty. I'll let you know how I feel about it. I would love to get your 2 cents. What is your favorite eye cream? Sound off below. Click all the buttons. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Thank you for listening. Thank me for speaking, and I will catch you in the next one. Adios.